When will Shohei Ohtani pitch next? The Dodgers are getting a pitcher back tonight. We got everything you need to know. Also, a big Dodgers injury update. Positive news for Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell. And we're talking more about what went down yesterday. Dodgers Padres getting heated. Shohei Ohtani getting thrown at. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Monkey magic. Treinen hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. 5 games up on the Padres in the National League West after winning again yesterday. The Dodgers building a nice little cushion on San Diego, sitting at 45-29. And it was a wild night last night at Dodgers Stadium. Of course, I asked you guys over on the X. Today's Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show is, did Padres pitcher Randy Vasquez intentionally throw at Shohei Ohtani? And right now, an overwhelming 94% of you say yes, while 6% of you say no. So I want your comments on that. We're looking for your comments of the show. We're going to give one out later during the 7th inning stretch, so be on the lookout for that. We got producer Noel rocking with us as always. He's looking for your comments, looking for your questions to include in the 7th inning stretch. But we've got so much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So we'll get to the injury updates and that later. The biggest story, though, in Dodger baseball is what happened last night. The Dodgers versus the Padres. The tension between these two teams continues to escalate. And after the game, Shohei Ohtani, he went to his Instagram and he posted the picture of Randy Vasquez hitting him in the leg. And Dave Roberts, he said after the game that he felt that it was intentional. He thought that there was no doubt about that. And look, it was intentional. I mean, who's going to deny that? It was absolutely intentional. At least own up to it. Dave did get ejected last night. This is the 13th ejection of his career, which isn't a lot. I mean, he's in the 10th season, just 13 ejections. Craig Counsell, he started his managerial career a year before Dave, and he was been ejected 33 times. Aaron Boone, 42 times. So it's not a lot. Dave had to step up. He had to defend his player, defend the fact that he did not get a chance to get an explanation. And the truth of the matter is that the Dodgers need to make sure that we never see Tripp out there umping a Dodger game in any capacity. You just can't see that. I mean, you just can't see that because it's certainly something that is starting to pile on. I mean, Tripp Gibson, he was the same guy who made that terrible call where Max Muncy was interfering back in New York against the Mets. Then yesterday he ejects Dave Roberts. And like, I think that the biggest takeaway from yesterday is that the Padres still have this little brother type of mentality, still trying to prove to Big Brother that they're relevant, that they're not afraid of them. But all the Dodgers care about is stacking up wins. And LA's now won 4 or 5 from San Diego this season. And last night, the bigger story was about Andy Pages. Andy Pages is gearing up for an all-star selection. And I asked Dave Roberts a few weeks ago if he thought that Andy Paz was playing at an all-star level. And he said back then, yes. And now he's taking it to a whole nother level. And this comes after Mike Shildt. After Dylan Cease hit Pages a few days ago and Pages gave him the death stare, this is after that where Mike Shildt is yelling onto the field, who the F does he think he is? Who the F is that guy? Well, now you know who Andy Pages is, because since then, he has turned it up to a whole nother level. Last night, he goes 4 for 4, had 2 home runs. And the truth is, Mike Shildt, if you want to know who he is, he would be the second or third best player on the Padres. Look, he's the third best player on the Dodgers, if we're being completely honest. So far this season, Andy Pages is right behind Shohei Ohtani in overall WAR. Right now, Shohei leads the team with 3.9 F-WAR. Andy Pages right behind him at 2.8, and Will Smith's at 2.6, and Freddie's at 2.5. Andy Pages isn't just a good player. He's a great player on any team that you want to put him on this year. And then you add his defense, and this also comes after the fact that Manny Machado said after the game 2 nights ago, quote, they've got way more superstars over there. If we want to hit somebody, they've got some big dogs over there we could hit. Well, hey, Andy Pages to the Padres is a big dog. Andy Pages is a Great Dane, a Bernese Mountain Dog, a Neapolitan Mastiff, a Scottish Deerhound, an Irish Wolfhound, a St. Bernard. He is a big dog against this Padres team. It is the San Diego Padres this series because he absolutely owns them. And not only that, the most important thing about all this is that the Dodgers, they have developed another homegrown talent that looks like he's going to be a part of this team for the foreseeable future. And he's the best homegrown talent they've developed since Will Smith. And you look at the numbers, he's all-star Andy. 15 home runs. That's third among National League outfielders. His 2.9 F-WAR is higher than Juan Soto. It's only behind Pete Crow Armstrong, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Corbin Carroll. His 135 weighted runs created plus is top 10. It's 7th. Paz was asked yesterday if it would mean a lot to him to make the All-Star team. And he said, hey, it would be great. It would be a nice feat, but he can't control it. He's not focused on it. And that's the mentality to have. But look at the season turnaround for Andy Pages, because there was a lot of people early on the year that wanted to see him sent down. As Joe Davis pointed out yesterday during the broadcast, it looked like at one point to start the season, there was a better chance that Andy Pages would be in OKC down in AAA than at Atlanta for the All-Star game. I mean, this turnaround's been amazing. Up until the start of April 21st is really when things started to turn around for Andy Pages. April 21st is really where his season kicked into gear. And since then, I mean, he was struggling. He didn't have his swing. The timing was down, a lot of strikeouts. But since then, Andy Pages has been one of the best players, not just on the Dodgers, but in baseball since April 21st. 50 games, 210 plate appearances, Andy Pages hitting .335, a .352 on base, slugging .590, a .161 weighted runs created plus. He is 5th in baseball with overall offensive production, behind Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, Jeremy Pena, and Shohei Ohtani. That's how good he's been. He has been a top 10 player in baseball in his last 50 games. And then you add the fact that he is doing the thing that people thought that was a negative for him, and that's this defense. He leads all outfielders, all defensive players in defensive run saves this season. And that's where I look at his year-to-year improvements with Pages. Is his rookie season hit a -1 defensive run save in the outfield. And in just center field, he had the 5th worst defensive run saved in the sport at -8. This season, he's tied for the 4th most defensive runs saved in baseball with 10. Doesn't matter any position. And the most in the outfield. He's gone from a -8 in center field to now he's a plus. He's a 2 this season. So he's gone from a negative to a positive. 13th most F-WAR, tied with Lindor and James Woods. More F-WAR than Will Smith, Manny Machado, Freddie Freeman, Pete Alonso, and Julio Rodriguez. And where he's really improved is the strikeout rate's gone down. As a rookie, at a 24.4% strikeout rate. He has been more aggressive this season, but he's cut that strikeout rate down to 17.9%. So that's a great year-over-year improvement from that standpoint. The barrel rate, the hard hit rate, they are down a little bit from last season, but it's the contact. It's the contact and the fact that he's got a 38.4% hard hit rate, 8.8% barrel rate, and he's not missing pitches in the zone. He has an 89.7% zone contact rate. That's up 5% from last season. And I think that he's only going to get better. The one area you want to see him do more is take more walks. 700 plate appearances, a 5.8% walk rate. He could take more walks. There's no doubt about that. But Andy Paez, write it down. Take a picture. He deserves an all-star appearance. And the Padres have just absolutely awakened up the beast. The San Diego Padres. You love to see it. And it's great to see Andy Paez. By the way, our guy Noel, he caught up with Andy Paez last night in the Dodgers clubhouse.
And Andy, not long after Ohtani got hit and Dave got ejected, you had your second home run to tie the game. Just how did it feel getting the energy back on your side with everything going on?
No, se sintió bien, pero fue un poco como en el momento fue un poco frustrante lo del picheo a Ohtani, pero porque sabemos que estamos hablando del mejor jugador de este juego y nadie quiere verlo fuera del juego por alguna lesión o algo, entonces fue un poco frustrante, pero gracias a Dios todo salió bien, no lo lastimaron.
Yeah, it was great to tie the game, great to have that hit in that moment, but obviously it was a little frustrating to see Ohtani, one of the greatest hitters in the league get hit like that. Luckily, nothing happened and no injuries from it, but obviously it was a little frustrating to see him get hit by a pitch.
So great stuff from Noel, great stuff from Andy Paez to point out the fact that, yeah, it was nice to get that momentum back. It was absolutely a great moment to hit a home run, but you never want to see that. You never want to see the greatest player in the sport getting hit. Just imagine what Randy Vasquez's life would be like today if Shohei Ohtani got injured. Dude would straight up be getting death threats. Like, dude would never be, he wouldn't be able to go out in public. I mean, it would be very ugly to do just that. So I love the fact that Shohei went to his Instagram and he posted a picture of it, a little troll job. Let's not forget, when you hit Shohei Ohtani, it hits a little different because Shohei Ohtani gets to face you. And Shohei would never do something like that. But it's nice to know that if he wanted to, he could. If he wanted to, he could because he's a pitcher and a hitter. But coming up next, a big injury update, a roster move for the Dodgers that they just made, and also an exclusive with Evan Phillips from the Dodgers clubhouse. We'll talk about that. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. By the way, if you haven't yet, go to gearup.la, pick up some merch, get our new Yamamania shirt. We got using a lot of the phrases coined on the show. Yamamania is upon us. Get merched up, got the big head retro look. These are straight gas, as the kids say. A lot of awesome t-shirts. The Comet shirt, Hassan Kim, love this one too. Lots of great gear over at gearup.la, and all the Rookie of the Year. This one we're going to probably have to send to a foreign country, just like we're probably going to send the Pacers championship merch, and where they probably have the Yankees World Series merch from last season. That's probably where this will end up, unfortunately, but still love my Roki Sasaki. All right, welcome back, and let's get into it, because tonight's a big night, because we just got news just a few seconds ago. The Dodgers, the Dodgers activated right-handed pitcher Emmet Sheehan from the 60-day injured list and optioned right-handed pitcher Matt Sauer to AAA. So from a 40-man roster spot, the Dodgers were at 39 players, so you didn't have to move on that end. So Matt Sauer, he did his job really just covering innings in low-leverage situations, and whenever they need him, he's going to pitch. He went the 111 pitches in San Diego, was kind of left out there to die a little bit, but still wore it for this team and gained a lot of respect from his teammates in this clubhouse. But Emmet Sheehan is back. And That's what we're talking about next, because I don't think that Emmet Sheehan is getting the hype that he deserves because of the talent that's on this roster, because of the hope that you're getting Glasnow and Snell and Roki back, and who knows, they make a trade. Shohei just came back, and there's just so much talent on this team that I think guys like Emmet Sheehan kind of get lost in the mix. But let's not forget, Emmet Sheehan was a stud at times back in 2023. He was so good, he forced himself onto that roster in the NLDS, and he looked really good during his rehab starts. In his last 2 rehab starts, he was really good, got 10 outs in those. He's faced 41 batters. He's struck out 16 of them. Say 39% strikeout rate. So 16 strikeouts to 1 walk. That's an elite strikeout to walk ratio. He gave up 5 runs in 9 1/3 innings for AAA OKC down with the Comets. And that is a league that is heavy on offense. That's a league where offensive statistics are inflated. So to perform at that level in that league, coming back off of Tommy John surgery, is definitely impressive. And his return is just 13 months. That's another thing to think about too. I mean, he's back in 13 months. He had the hybrid Tommy John surgery, the internal brace procedure back on May 15th of last season. And now he's back. And I have high hopes on Emmet Sheehan, because just talking to people within this organization, one thing they've told me is this is someone who, when his fastball is right, from a movement standpoint, horizontal break, electricity, perceived rise, he has one of the most explosive fastballs in the organization. I was told at one point, before they picked up a lot of the guys they have now, that he had the most explosive fastball in the organization. So it's going to be really exciting to see him back. He's made his progression well. It started when he faced Teoscar Hernandez and at Tommy Edman. Then he had a 2-inning start in the Arizona Complex League. He started 3 times for Oklahoma City. Hasn't pitched since 2023. Last time we saw him, he had a 4.92 ERA in 13 games, 11 starts. Started this year on the injured list, but he is ready to roll. He's excited for tonight, and I'm excited to see it. And he was asked about just his road back and getting things kicked into gear. Here was Emmet Sheehan talking about his return.
Super excited. It was a long road, and I'm ready to get back out there for sure.
What was the toughest part of this process for you?
I'd say probably the toughest part was not being able to contribute last year and not being around the guys for a full year. That takes a toll on you, but we had a good group in Arizona, so that helped a lot. It was a long time. It was a lot of hard work, and yeah, I'm just happy to be done with it at this point.
It's our guy Dave Vassay for Sportsnet LA. He's killing it with the sideline duties. Love DV. And then the thing that I was really most intrigued by and really caught my ears was him saying from a physicality standpoint, he's gotten stronger. He's strengthened things around that elbow. The lower body's intact. He's always been a big physical pitcher, and he thinks that he can be even better upon his return.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the health thing is the main thing there. I'm completely healthy now, which is great. I think I'm just a little smarter than I was. I got to watch a lot of baseball while I was sitting in Arizona, so you pick up on different things. And physically, I feel like everything's a little bit better. So yeah, I think especially with the shoulder and the forearm rehab stuff, just trying to bulletproof everything around the elbow and trying to make sure do everything I can to not have that happen again. That was the main focus for sure. Our programs that our strength coaches write up for us, and I love those programs, and I think I was big on that before, but yeah, definitely still through that process stayed with it.
So Emmet Sheehan, he's back tonight. Look for that fastball, a live heater, a live arm, and they need guys that can do what he can, and that is you don't have to just throw him in there as a starter. You can have him in a multi-inning reliever role, in a hybrid role. He's going to be flexible. And my hope is that guys like him, Ben Kasparius, Jack Dreyer, are 3 of these young weapons that continue to develop in this organization, and they help him not just this year, but moving forward. So it's great to see guys like Emmet Sheehan back. Now, some more interesting updates down on the farm in AAA. Today, the former All-Star closer who the Dodgers picked up, Alexis Diaz, he made his debut down in AAA, and he pitched well. He pitched well down in AAA. He had a 1-2-3 inning through just 12 pitches. That's very encouraging. And it's pretty hilarious how minor league baseball is sometimes. Because Alexis Diaz, a former all-star closer, going in AAA, and who was pitching for the other team? It was Craig Kimbrell. The Round Rock pitcher was Craig Kimbrell trying to make his way back onto a big league mound. So that's positive news. We'll see how he came out of it, how the velocity's playing, how he's taking to the new Dodgers information. Because look, Andrew Friedman said they feel like there was something very specific with his delivery and his mechanics where they think that he can get out righties. And they took on his contract where you're owing him over $3 million. They picked him up on and they are committed to him financially. So this is not some type of, okay, this is some disposable pitcher. We're going to have him come up, pitch a couple innings, then send the DFA route. No, they think that Alexis Diaz can help him this year and moving forward. And he is a long-term project, but also one that they think that can help them this year if things start to click early. So that's definitely encouraging. Also, you need arms. You always have to monitor Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller had a positive start, gave up no runs on 5 hits, had 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 13 swings and misses in 5 innings of work. So Bobby Miller, that's encouraging. It's good to have that depth. I have said on this show, I do think he's someone that I still think that other teams value on the trade market just because he can throw 98, 100, because he's big, because he was a former top pitching prospect. So that's definitely a positive. You want guys to pitch well in your organizations. There's an update there. Now, a big one yesterday at Dodger Stadium was Tyler Glasnow. And this is the big wild card. He was number 1 on my list of Dodgers X Factors heading into the 2025 season. And because when he's great, when he's healthy, he's amazing, right? Health is wealth for Tyler Glasnow. And I know how you guys feel about him. You don't trust him because he's dealt with injuries throughout his career. But right now, things are trending in the right direction. Glasnow has been on the IL since April 28th. He left the game with shoulder discomfort. He was transferred to the 60-day IL on Saturday. That's how they got Chucky Robinson, and Chucky Robinson was gone, a couple Saturdays ago. So that was a move that people overreacted to. Just he wasn't going to be ready at that point because he was going to have to start a minor league rehab start anyway. So it's not going to really impact his timeline too much. But he wasn't really good this season when he was on the mound. He posted a 4.5 ERA. There was a start on the East Coast. Phillies dealing with the mound issues and the rain delay. He was dealing with cramps, then the shoulder issues. He just has not looked like Tyler Glasnow even when he's healthy. But good news out of Dodger Stadium yesterday. He pitched 2 innings, had 6 strikeouts. Dave said after, he was really good. I gave him a fist bump afterward, and just watching the 2 innings, it was pretty good. His entire mix, 2 innings, caught 40 pitches, command execution. The stuff itself was good. So that definitely is positive. Dave said that the second time facing hitters was a step in the right direction. And the next question now, though, is what happens with him? What happens with him? What do they do? What is next for him? Well, clearly, they're going to have to continue to move up his progression. And they're going to have to decide when he's going to start a rehab assignment. They're expecting him to go at least 3 times on that rehab assignment before he can get back pitching for the big club. So let's say that he bounces back well. Things are starting to really feel right from a delivery standpoint, from a bounce back standpoint. Dave said he thinks he's in a good spot, and it feels like he's ready to take the next step. Mark Pryor said that he's been looking really good too, that everything's coming out well. He's worked really hard. He's really encouraged by that. He looks athletic, and they're saying all the right things, which they typically do in these situations. But I think with Glasnow, he's got to get on the mound, and he's got to pitch. And the reason for that is the sooner Tyler Glasnow gets back, the sooner you can really evaluate if he's going to be able to trust his mechanics. And then you start to ask yourself, do we believe he's going to be ready in October? Because I've kind of gone back and forth about this. Do you push Glasnow back as much as possible, then ramp him up in the hopes that, hey, at the very least, he doesn't break down in October? Do you do that, or do you start the progression now like they are doing so he can get back on the mound, and that way you have a handful of starts to evaluate him before that trade deadline kicks in? Because I know that the organization has been saying all offseason, even this season, they trust the depth coming back. But if in a matter of a couple weeks, they start to lose these pitchers and it's Squid Game season 3 all over again, then I think that you're forced to be active at the deadline. So I'd rather see these guys come back, see what they have, because the longer you wait, I don't think that's going to really impact the long-term issues of the injuries, right? If they're going to get injured, they get injured at this point. So bring them back, see what they have. It's just good to see Tyler Glasnow going out there and taking the right steps. I also thought it was awesome that Jerry Hairston Jr., my friend Jerry Hairston Jr., I'm happy to call him a friend, Jay Hair got a base knock off of Tyler Glasnow. He got a hit against him, and Jerry Hairston Jr., he's been doing drills at Dodgers Stadium in the last couple of days. He's getting ready for that East-West Classic. It's a tribute to the Negro League All-Star games that were held back in the 30s through the 60s. And it's going to be awesome to see him compete in that. It's going to be at the Rick Wood Field, the historic Rick Wood Field. So I'm excited to see him there. So that's going to be really cool. But how about that? Dave said after, he said he's going to have to deal with that. There might be some permanent scarring on that one. I think if anyone in the organization got a hit, I wouldn't want it to be Jerry Hairston, blind squirrel. So, wow, doing him dirty right there. You hate to see that. So that's the news on Tyler Glasnow. And let's get some comments here. I'm calling Manny, getting bean today from Karma Smith. We got Joe Magazzini. Mike Schilt is getting owned by Andy Paz. Yeah, look, Mike Schilt, can he yell at Michael Conforto? Who the F is that guy? Can he yell at Michael Conforto? Who does he think he is? I mean, have him wake up anyone who's slumping at this point. D-Mac wore his Wednesday shirt from Doyers. I love that. All right, another news. Let's talk some Shohei Ohtani real quick. Then we're going to get that big injury update. Already hit some other ones, but let's talk some Shohei Ohtani because I was there the other night. It was absolutely electric. I've never seen a stadium where I would venture to say that 90% of the people that were in the stands had their phones out, their cameras out for the first pitch. The electricity, the presence. I do think that I want to see him have a different warm-up song than his walk-up song, though. Just want to throw that out there. But Dave said about the next time Shohei will pitch, don't know when he's going to pitch again. He's probably going to do a little touch and feel, a light bullpen session sometimes this week. Then whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, something like that, it's kind of a weak situation, but not a hard and fast 7 days. We have the option to build an inning the next time out, but we also have the option to leave it at 1. That I think is just going to be open-ended for now. So the Dodgers do take on the Rockies in Colorado starting next week on Tuesday. So can't be Monday so there's that standpoint. You're going to Colorado. So that makes me wonder, do you really want to have his next start be in Colorado at Coors Field? That might be something where, look, I mean, it's Shohei Ohtani. If he's on his game, he's going to be just fine. We did a full breakdown of all of his pitches and every single thing that went down in his start yesterday. And as you know, that sweeper was electric. The fastball velocity, command wasn't great, but the velo was there. But they're off Monday, so it can't be Monday. Then they go to Colorado for a 3-game series, June 24th to the 26th. So it's either going to be one of those games or this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, against the Nationals. I almost think you got to go against the Nationals. Another time at home, see how he feels, go through that. I hope it's on Saturday, and that would be just my guess right there. And look, he's electric, triple-digit heat, no strikeouts yet. So wait for that first strikeout for Shohei Ohtani. But as we talked about yesterday, it was an absolute great day for the Dodgers because he looks like he has the potential to be a game 1 starter. Okay, so let's get into it. Some more injury updates on the big injury update. Let's get into it right here. The other ones we'll talk about is we've got one on Evan Phillips. So Evan Phillips, saw him in the Dodgers clubhouse, and he's in great spirits. He had Tommy John surgery. He's going to be out for the year. He could be gone from the Dodgers at some point. I think that the Dodgers are going to tender him. I think it's the organization they are. They understand that he put his arm on the line last year into the postseason, but he was in good spirits. Here is Evan Phillips from the Dodgers clubhouse talking about life after Tommy John and what's next for him.
Pain has kind of died down at this point. Now I'm just playing with the discomfort of being in the cast and ultimately just a bit of inconvenience here and there and certain things, but it's really not been too bad.
Did they give you a timeline or anything?
With this thing, I think this comes off on Monday, and then I'll go into that robot brace looking thing and really start the flexion extension and getting my range of motion back, and from that point on, it's a slow process, but I'm excited about it. Hopefully, there's plenty of distractions along the way to help you go by faster.
It seems like mindset-wise, it seems like you're dealing with this frustration in a good way. What's really helped you in the process?
I just think I haven't really felt it yet. I'm sure it's going to come, and so far it's only come, watching our guys compete and knowing that I can't be a part of it for a while is hard. But I'm trying to channel that energy into my teammates, specifically our guys in the bullpen to rally together and just be a resource and a support system for them and do the best I can at that and chip away at my progress along the way.
Have you talked to anyone who has had the surgery already and kind of got some insight?
Yeah, plenty of guys. I mean, you look around each corner and you feel like you can pick a guy that's been through it. So definitely getting some tips and tricks here and there, but I think generally speaking, I'm surprised at how not that bad it is so far. I do keep on waking up each day thinking I'm just going to be able to magically extend my arm again, but I know it's just going to be some time, and I think that's where there's some learning to do in that regard. I know it's a long road ahead of me.
What's the next step in the process, and just kind of what are you leaning on to get through this?
Next step is going into that brace that helps me get my range of motion back, and I think it's a slow drip process from there. So it's going to take weeks, months, and by the time I get back sometime next summer, I know there's a lot of things ahead of me, a lot of obstacles, but hopefully a lot of milestones that make the process go by a bit quicker.
Thanks, Evan.
Of course, no problem.
So great to see Evan Phillips in good spirits. He's a team player. He did what he could to help this team, and unfortunately the arm just wasn't there. We got some breaking news, though, here into Dodgers Nation. It was just reported seconds ago that Mark Walter, the controlling owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, is now the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. Shams Charania, he tweeted out just a few seconds ago, breaking: the Buzz family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of diversified holding company TWG Global. Sources tell ESPN Jeannie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale. Shams go on to tweet: Walter has been a majority stakeholder in the Lakers since 2021 and has interests in multiple professional sports organizations, including the LA Dodgers, WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks, the Billie Jean Cup Cadillac Formula One team, and Professional Women's Hockey League. So, wow, that's big news. That's big news because we know that Mark Walter has turned this Dodgers team into, I think, a top 10 to 15 franchise in the world. The Lakers are already a top 10 to 15 franchise in the world, and we know that the most important thing when it comes to winning is resources. The Dodgers, they have more money than God, deep pockets. They have the ability to take on any type of penalties for the CBT. They can do whatever they want to manipulate things as far as, hey, coaches, food, trainers, anything you want, they're going to look to help their organization any way they can. And now the Lakers, they get an ownership group that is going to be willing to spend big money during the Luka Doncic chapter of the Los Angeles Lakers. So interesting stuff. What is your reaction to that? Noah, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, that's insane, man. I was scrolling through, and then I saw people in the chat saying that Dodgers owner about the Lakers. I was like, no way, it's true. I see Shams, I see Jeff Boston talking about it. I think it's incredible. You know, the Lakers were prime. I'm saying we. You know, I'm part of the Lakers. I said we, but yeah, I think having Luka, we're gonna be contending for 5-10 years. Perfect timing for this to happen, Doug. Perfect.
I love it because it means the LeBron era is going to end very soon here, at least maybe another year tops. Then you start this new chapter with Luka and Mark Walter. It's a bright day for the purple and gold. Got a super chat here. Pocket Rude Boy 199 Ohtani walk-up song is mid for real, and Teo to be. I love Teo's. I don't even know what's even being said, but it's how do you sing that? The Teo one. Oh, don't sueño.
There you go.
Ohtani's though. Look, I like it as a walk-up song for a hitter. The Michael Bublé song. It's intimidating. Dun, ch, dun, dun, ch, dun, dun. You know, it's pretty intimidating. But I think I'm feeling good. I think they should switch it up for the pitcher. We got Ken Warm, D-Mac. I have pitched almost as many innings as Glasnow and Snell. Bruh. That's a good one right there. Let's scroll down a little bit. Check. We'll see what Muad'Dib69 has to say down below in the chat here. We've got D-Mac looks like he's about to go pitch 10 holes or whatever you do in golf. Getting cooked. I get cooked for what I wear on the show like every episode now. I love it. But let's get back to some more of these injury updates, and then we are going to hit that 7th inning stretch. We'll talk some more Lakers. We'll talk some more Dodgers. Fascinating stuff on today's show. Lots of information that has been revealed in the last hour here with the Dodgers. So next, I want to talk about Blake Snell, though, for a big injury update. And just like Tyler Glasnow, positive news for Blake Snell. He has been on the IL since April 6th. They retroactively made it back to April 3rd. They transferred him to the 60-day IL on May 17th. And his return looks like it's going to be at some point in July at this point. He, like Glasnow, is going to have to make the minor league rehab starts. But he did throw a 20 to 25 pitch bullpen session last week. And he has followed up with nothing but good things to say about being excited to get back on this mound and be the pitcher that he knows he can be. So I think for Blake Snell, the big thing for him is just throwing the full arsenal, because he's been throwing just fastballs in his bullpen session. So you want to see him use that full repertoire of pitches, use the slider, use the curveball, find different ways to make sure that the arm is bouncing back well. So look, I know I've said it before, I say it again, and it looks like I was pretty right about Tanner Scott and planting my flag saying he was going to have a bounce back. Muncy, yes. Conforto, I mean, all the L's on Michael Conforto so far. But I will say the same thing, and I feel the same way about Blake Snell as I felt about Tanner Scott. It was health related. It was mechanics related because of the health. When he's back and he's right, I still think that he's going to be the best pitcher on the Dodgers down the stretch in the postseason when it matters most. I think Yamamoto, Shohei, Snell, those guys are going to cook, and I think that Snell is going to stand out. Couple more quick ones in case you're wanting. Right-handed pitcher Luis Garcia. He's dealing with a right abductor strain. He's been on the IL since June 1st. They made it a 15-day IL retroactive to May 29th. He's expected to be back this month. He faced hitters at Dodgers Stadium a few days ago for the first time since going on the IL. Roki Sasaki, nothing too new there. It was a big story over the weekend that Dave Roberts said that the team almost has to operate under the assumption that he is not going to be back. But I think that it's more encouraging than that. I mean, Brandon Gomes said a few days ago that it was a positive day. He did plyo balls. He bounced back well. It's going to take some time, but he's shut down from throwing. He hasn't progressed past light catching, so it's going to be a while for him, a while for Roki Sasaki, but I don't think that he's done. Now, Blake Treinen is another one to monitor too. He was placed on the 15-day IL with forearm tightness a while back, and Dave Roberts said that the good news with him was the imaging showed a low-grade sprain, but they felt like they dodged a bullet. No timeline for Treinen's return. I think he's in the same bucket as a lot of these guys that pitched deep into the postseason last year, where they're not going to rush him back under any circumstances. So we'll see when he can return. I think July is possible for him as well. And the key for him is he's a postseason dog, man. And they don't want to use all of the Blake Treinen bullets in June and July. They want to save him for October. Couple other quick ones. Brusdar Graterol, he should be back in September. He went shoulder surgery, labrum surgery in November, has started throwing, and he's hoping to start a rehab assignment in early August. So he's another wild card. They're hoping to get back in September. Tony Gonsolin, right elbow discomfort on the IL on June 7th. The imaging showed that his UCL was intact, but he's been shut down. So we need to get an update on him. I'm going to probably ask Dave about Tony Gonsolin today. So that's where they're at from the injury standpoint. Everything is trending in the right direction. The Roki one's a little bit of a mystery at this point. There's not a ton of clarity there. I think there's some confidence issues, some mental hurdles, but Glasnow is close to the next step, and that is to hopefully get on a rehab progression and get those appearances in. And same thing with Blake Snell. So those are two big dogs that are going to join the big dogs on this team that does include Andy Pages. So you love to see that. But that's the injury update today. And now it's all about you guys for the 7th inning stretch, where we answer all of your burning questions about your boys in blue. And we're going to find a comment of the show today, Noel. Let's find a comment of the show. Let's see what we got. I got some good ones yesterday. Let's see what we got here.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, we got a super chat. Pocket Rude Boy $4.99. The only threat to Bonda's hold over the LA Tortas is D-Mac's lats and quads. D-Mac looking oiled down like a Dodge Charger. Bruh. My goodness. I'm Ron Burgundy. I will read anything that shows up on this screen. Hello, world. Question, D-Mac. Which are realistic left field trade options for the Dodgers to upgrade over Conforto, Taylor Ward, Luis Robert Jr., or someone else? I think right now, based on how things are trending, I mean, you look at the performance of Andy Pages, the performance of Tommy Edman. They're hoping that Michael Conforto can turn the season around. And even if he doesn't, there's a world where you could kick Pages to left, keep Teo in right because that's where he wants to be. If it were me, I'd flip that. And then Tommy Edmonds in center and Hassan Kim could play some second. Kike Hernandez is going to play some second. I mean, I think that a lot of people want to rush to make trades. You guys know I love trades more than anything in this world. But when making a trade, you block someone of their role they have with this team unless you're moving off of them. And I think that even if you move off of Michael Conforto, you still have to answer the question about what that means for Hassan Kim and Tommy Edman and Kike Hernandez and guys like that. Because you mean to tell me that Kike is just going to be a role player again? Because somehow, some way, he's going to factor into being in this lineup. And we even saw that in 2023. He was like the only guy that hit in that series against the Diamondbacks. And we saw last season, he's an indispensable part of this Dodgers team in the postseason. So you have to consider, here's at bats. As far as Taylor Ward, Luis Robert Jr., Ward, really good player. He's been on my radar for a long time. It's always tough to get deals done by the Angels. By the way, how about Artie Moreno? You wish you had Andy Pages, don't you? Wish you had All-Star Andy. Man, Artie Moreno just continues to take L's. But Luis Robert Jr. is another guy that we've talked about extensively on this show. He hasn't put together a great season. He's under a couple years of team control with those club options at $20 million a year. I think that what has changed in the last couple of weeks is I think they're confident that Andy Pages is going to be a part of this team, so you're not worried about the corner outfield spots anymore. And then center field, I mean, I just don't see him making a move right now for a big impact bat, at least right now, the way things are going. I mean, a lot of guys have turned their seasons around, right? You're not talking about third base anymore. Max Muncy has been awesome ever since he did an interview with me. Ever since he's put those glasses on. So a lot of guys are kind of firm in their spots. You're not talking about shortstop. Mookie Betts playing above average shortstop. The bats come around. Freddie Freeman's Freddie Freeman. Will Smith's an all-star. So not a lot of holes right now. CC, would Roki have been better starting off in the minors? It's a good question. It's a fair question considering everything that was going on with him, but there's a lot of things in play. I mean, with Roki, you have to remember that any team in Major League Baseball could have signed him because the most you could give him was international bonus pool money. The Dodgers ended up giving him $6.5 million, and then he signed on a minor league contract. So with every team having the ability to acquire him, you have to sell him on the fact that, hey, we're going to put you in the big leagues right away. And then you add the fact that for Roki, he probably wanted to be around Shohei and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and guys that he knows that could help him transition to the big league. So it's a fair question, but you also consider too, I mean, AAA, it's an offensive heavy league, and how would that have done for him as well? So I still think that the number one thing for Roki, and what Dave Roberts told me with Roki, is health, man. If he can get fully healthy, they believe that he can still be a frontline elite starting pitcher. So get him healthy and let's see what happens. Nando 390. Nando. By the way, Noel, I seriously met like 40 fans the other day at Dodger Stadium. It was a lot of fun. And a lot of them were asking about Nando 390. Yep. A lot. People want to see like what he looks like, what he sounds like. They want to see Nando 390.
There you go, Nando. You gotta show yourself.
The cancel king. I mean, the bruh king. He says, how does Kopech have so much power but so little control? I mean, just the force that he throws with. I mean, I think for him, when he's downward, he has that tilt and the mechanics are right. He's working the upper quadrants of the zone. I mean, he just kind of comes along with it. I mean, sometimes it's like a superhero earlier in the movie, right? You got that superpower, you got to harness it, right? And for him, I think he sacrifices some of that command for velocity. And he knows that that's his ticket in this league, is having that velocity. We've got Chun Kib Lube. When are we gonna have just when are your profile names gonna be like Bob? You know what? Noah, how would you read this, Noel?
Kunji Club.
Kunji Club. Okay, that was better than I did. Respect. You did a better job than I did. Maybe Ballmer can purchase the Angels. That's a good one. Spartan. Yeah, see, Ballmer's got a bag, right? RD, ratings return. D-Mac, do you think Roberts needs to get out there and scream at umpires more often? We were actually talking about this before the show. Does it make you a better umpire, better manager per se, to go out there and scream and yell? I do think that his players love him for who he is. And the thing about Dave Roberts is he is very popular with umpires. He's popular with players. It's not his MO, but last night he was heated. I mean, I think what was funny to me is I was thinking last night, you guys remember back in 2017, he was trying to fight Padres manager Andy Green. He was out there trying to throw hands, and he was saying the same thing that Mike Schilt was saying about Andy Paez. When he spotted some guy who he didn't know he was, Dave Roberts like, who the F is that guy? Who the F is that guy? So, I mean, my whole thing is this. I'm all about authenticity. And if it's authentic to you, then I think do it. I don't want to see Dave out there like he's on WWE Monday Night Raw doing it for the show, right? Doing it for the script writers. If he's out there because it means something to him, then do it. The Dodgers have a lot of players that they're stars, so they're kind of above kind of the pettiness of the game. But look, it's always fun to see. I mean, Lou Piniella, Tommy Lasorda kicking dirt. 2 super chat sports cards, report cards, $1.99. D-Mac needs to interview Conforto to get him going. Yeah, the Dodgers dugout live karma is definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. It's coming to the show. Coming to the show. Hector Castle, $9.99. The Los Angeles Dodgers ownership is purchasing the Los Angeles Lakers. They've already had such a strong bond. I think I tweeted this last year that the Lakers and the Dodgers, as far as like their social media bond, how much they support each other, I think it's as strong as any two franchises in sports. Would you agree with me, Noel? I mean, I think you can make that case, right?
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, just the collaboration nights, going to the stadium with their World Series trophy, players like when LeBron pulled up. I know Dodger fans aren't the most keen on Bron, but giving Bron a bobblehead night when he's still playing, that was pretty big. Mookie doing the little salute.
Yeah, Dodgers fans do not love LeBron.
They do not.
We made that mistake on this show.
Hopefully they like Luka better.
Hey, I will say, it is great to see. It is great to see. And I think the Lakers are modernizing themselves into this year. I would like to see Mark Walter be like an NIL investor to UCLA. That'd be my dream. But Nando 390, hopefully only girls were asking about me. If not, y'all sus. Bruh. Nando needs to chill.
Wait, Doug, weren't you were pretty sad about UCLA baseball, right?
Yesterday they lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty sad. I was a little upset. But it's okay. Yeah, I'm used to it. Corey, did it bother you that the Padres would dare to throw at Shohei? It definitely pissed me off. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I was infuriated. I mean, I really genuinely was. I mean, I was thinking to myself, first of all, the funny thing was, if you go back and watch the first pitch of the at-bat, Vasquez tried to hit him with the first pitch, but he just missed. And then the second pitch, he gets him, and Thankfully, it hit kind of the meaty part of the leg that didn't hopefully get him injured. But could you imagine, like, let's say he throws that and it hits his kneecap and his kneecap gets fractured or he has to miss amount of time. Like, Randy Vasquez would have to enter the witness protection program. That is how dangerous that would be. And then the game would lose its biggest and most important superstar. So I think, too, you consider who it is. And Shohei was kind of nodding his head saying, okay. And I don't think that was by any accident that Shohei posted a picture of him getting hit on his Instagram story. It reminds me almost of the Gurriel situation earlier in the year where he's playing the nice guy, but then he's got that dog in him. So yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was Bush League. I thought it was the Padres trying to prove something to themselves, trying to prove something to the league, when the Dodgers, they don't care as much about the Padres as the Padres care about the Dodgers. And I think we know that at this point. When D-Mac bobblehead night, we're talking about, we already had one earlier this year. Here's my bobblehead right here. My Will Smith bobblehead night. Yeah, no, that'd be fun. Julian Anthony, D-Mac, do you think the Dodgers players are too friendly to the Padres? Julian Anthony. I mean, look, Mookie's always going to be Mookie. Mookie said it on this show, on his show a couple times, where baseball is a very small fraternity, right? There's like 700 of these guys that do this. So they're all brothers in that sense. There's a lot of nice guys on the Dodgers. And I would say if they lost last year, I might think differently. But the fact that they did win last year, well, proves that nice guys can finish first. They don't have to finish last. And I think that's what I like about Andy Pages too. Because I think Andy Pages doesn't give an F. I think Andy Pages kind of brings that edge to this team against the Padres right now. So he's not friendly with them, especially for what he does to them. But look, I mean, they play each other a lot. Manny Machado, hey, you guys. Manny Machado, he's always someone that is going to stoke the flames. I mean, I thought it was funny when Manny Machado came out of the dugout after Iglesias was hit by Sauer, saying, what was the warning for? Hey, you don't have to throw out a pitcher for hitting a batter unless you think it's intentional. And clearly the umpire deemed it wasn't intentional. We got Pocket Rude Boy 199. Ohtani can cover the bruise with DeCorte. I like it. That emoji was perfect there. They got to start. Dodgers got to start using that. Pocket Rude Boy. That's a comment of the show. What do you think, Noel? It's a good comment of the show. We give you a nice little let's go Dodgers.
That one and the Balmer can buy the Angels. That was pretty funny.
We'll give him that one. That's a good one too. That's definitely a big contender. Keith Potter, D-Mac, what's Friedman cooking for the Lakers? LOL, I know. Let Friedman cook. Let Friedman run both teams. Sorry, Rob. Corey, we need Luka first pitch. Oh, I love that. Julian Anthony, D-Mac, why don't they show pitch replays at the stadium? Annoying AF. It's a good question. I'm not really sure why. I'm not. I mean, there's a TV in the press box that you can see the Sportsnet LA feed. Nufo, D-Mac, have a convo with Roberts why Kim is not getting more playing time. Yeah, I got a strategy for that. And we'll see what he says. Jinjo Star, hey, D-Mac, I think Alexis Diaz can get called up next month. I think it depends on a couple things, right? They're not going to call him up based on one good appearance. They want to see more of a sample size. They're going to look at all the data from an extreme advanced level with how this stuff is playing after they've gotten to him and the Dodgers coaching has made some adjustments for him. And then I think, too, it's related to the Dodgers' health. I mean, who's available for the Dodgers at the time? Do they need to rush him back from that sense? So it's possible, but I think they're being patient with him. They don't want to rush him into a situation because they want to get some return on their investment, right? Paul Gutierrez, D-Mac, why has Kim not started the last 3 games? He's playing in his role, right? And that is the role that they've had for him. I think I'd be shocked if I didn't see him in there today, but Tommy Edman is back, and Tommy Edman's at second. And they're still giving Conforto these opportunities to see if he can turn his season around. And Andy Paz is in center. So I do think, for me, the fear with Ha-Seong Kim is he would be playing for most of the league this year. He could be contending for a Rookie of the Year. Who knows, right? But on the Dodgers, because of all the talent that they have, all the experience, the veterans, the all-stars, superstars, future Hall of Famers, he has to be a bench guy that's just happy to be here. But at what point does that limit his development, right? At what point do you say he needs more at-bats? That's the thing that scares me is he still developing? Same thing goes for Dalton Rushing. He's another guy. He'd be getting run away on another team, those guys would begin full-time at bats down the AAA level. And with Kim, who's made some swing changes and he's reaped the benefits of those swing changes, at what point does getting 10 plate appearances per week impact you? Because I saw the stat that someone posted, I think it was the Hassan Kim Hughes, which is Noel's burner account, that's
pretty good.
He posted a thing about the Dodgers record, right, with Kim in the lineup. I don't make too much about that. It's baseball. It's going to balance out. I mean, he has a tremendous impact. I'm not denying that, but I can guarantee you that there's not one person in the Dodgers organization that's saying, wait, this is our record with Hassan Kim. We need to play more because of that. That's not how they view it. They view it as there's guys that, like, it would not sit well for Kike Hernandez to get less time for Kim, even though Kike has not hit well against lefties. And Kim, I was talking to someone who covered Kim in the KBO, and he told me that he was really good against lefties in the KBO. He was also really good against lefties down the minor league level. So I want to see more of it for sure. We got new super chat from Andy Cali 499. You keep mispronouncing Andy Paz's name. It's Andy Big Dog Pajes. Yeah, he's my Dodger dog of the week. I love that though. Nice little comment of the show right there from you. I'm gonna give you a Dodger for life. The real Koza. If Kim keeps missing games, won't he still contend for Rookie of the Year next year because he hasn't played enough games? Yeah, there's that element to it for sure as far as qualifying for Rookie of the Year. But the point I'm trying to make is that to have that narrative of being a Rookie of the Year, you have to get extended playing time. So, I mean, if you kick it into next season, you look at where he stands. How is he going to earn extended playing time unless he never gets it at any point this year, right? Because you look at the roster next season, yes, you're not going to have Conforto on it, but Edman's still here. And we'll see what happens with Kike. I mean, things could open up for him. I think there's a world where he could be the shortstop of this team at some point. So, yeah, for sure. You could still earn that award. But the point is that you got a Rookie of the Year type of talent, but he is kind of getting underutilized, at least based on how his production looks. And then the reason they're doing that is they're sacrificing that because they still believe in Michael Conforto and guys like that. So that's just the answer and the truth about that. The real Koza, if Kim keeps missing games, we got George DMAC. What do you think of the idea of returning pitchers do rehab starts in real games like Shohei did? I think that, say it one more time. Yeah, what do you think of the idea of returning pitchers do rehab starts in real games? I mean, I think it's something that's exclusive to Shohei Ohtani, right? Because he's a DH. He's not going to go down. I mean, that's just how it is for him. I mean, he's a unique situation, so for sure. Beat Punk Brian says, DMAC, funniest moment was when Tatis couldn't decide to take home being more than halfway there. Yeah, that was hilarious too. He was halfway there. How about Tatis Jr. too? I mean, he got tagged out because he went off the base, and still because Marvin Hudson, home plate umpire, decided to change the ball, he was ruled safe because he had already called timeout. That should have been a boneheaded blunder by Tatis Jr. Nando says Dodgers next City Connect will be Lakers colors. Sickets Aaron, imagine the Dodgers take Duran to troll the Padres. Mookie Magic, D-Mac, what do you think of Luis Castillo trade cost would be? I know it would cost hitters, but who? Kind of have to look into it. We'll tell you that tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, anytime you're looking at a top pitcher at a buyer's deadline, you're talking at least a couple top 30 prospects in your organization potentially with how the market is. But all right, guys, running out of time, so let's hit the walk-off.
The walk-off.
All right, today for the walk-off, I was at Dodger Stadium a couple days ago, got a chance to meet a lot of you, and we asked you some questions. And one of the questions I asked was to say something nice about the Padres. And here's what Dodgers fans said.
You guys are going to hate me for this one. Say something nice about the Padres.
San Diego's nice.
It's a nice city.
San Diego's a nice city. I like their stadium. It's very nice.
You guys are going to hate me for this one. Say something nice about the Padres.
I
I don't have anything nice to say.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Not a player you like?
No, nothing.
The stadium?
Nothing.
Hey, I like it. Jocelyn, how about you? Say something nice about the Padres.
They have nice uniforms.
You like the brown?
Nice color combo.
You're gonna hate me for this. Say something nice about the Padres or their fans or anything about their team. Say something nice about the Padres.
I really like the brown in their uniform.
Nice. Yeah, it's unique, right?
Earth tone.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, it's cool. Would you ever? Okay, you're gonna hate me for this. Say something nice about the Padres.
They're horrible.
They're horrible. Say something nice.
I can't say anything nice.
They're loyal because even though they lose, they still stick it out with their team. Yeah.
You're gonna hate me for this one. Say something nice about the Padres.
I'm gonna say their stadium.
Okay, you're gonna hate me for this one. Say something nice about the Padres.
They look like UPS workers. Is that nice?
Hey, but they don't deliver. No, but hey, you're gonna hate me for this. Say something nice about the Padres.
Tatis is very good. Their uniforms.
Everyone really likes their uniforms. Not the City Connects that look like a 90s Taco Bell, right? How about you? Say something nice.
They have some nice home uniforms.
They have a beautiful stadium. That's about it. That's all I could say for the Padres, bro.
Isn't that kind of like our stadium, though? Like
we own all the stadiums. San Francisco, Arizona.
Dodger Stadium South.
Dodger Stadium. You already know.
You're going to hate me for this. Say something nice about the Padres, their fans, their team. Say anything nice about the Padres.
Tatis has nice hair.
Okay.
I like watching Tatis. He's flashy.
Say something nice about the Padres.
I like the sponsor of their stadium.
Petco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the food there is pretty bomb for sure. But yeah, Dan T, B2B, Sheehan hurt himself pitching Ohtani. Yeah, I mean, he did a couple spring trainings ago. It definitely didn't help. Keith Potter, D-Mac, do you know of any current former Dodgers watch and comment under an alias? I don't know that. I do know a lot of people in the organization do watch the show, so it's always pretty awesome. And yeah, you guys are the best in the game, best fans in the game, Dodgers Nation. But tonight, Dodgers, Padres once again, head to Dodger Stadium right now. So if I see you guys, come say what's up out in the concourse. I'll see you guys. But that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button on your way out for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And remember that nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming